And this should pop right up.
Oh,
Go live. Yep, I see us. Damn.
gotta
I
gotta
didn't
open
miss
my
any.
book of
Do what?
gotta open my book of faith
Oh,
face.
yeah, I didn't screw anything up that time.
Oh, nice job.
And now I'm going to put this on our social medias. Let everybody know we is live.
Large and in charge.
Yeah, it always takes people a few minutes to. Although it popped right up on mine.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. We live.
Alrighty, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. I am chilling. Throwing this on. Share to my Facebook page real quick.
Episode 75, it says.
Episode 75.
Or show 75. That's impressive.
Yeah, I kind of thought so.
Or a total waste of time.
Yeah. Hey, man, I think we've taught some stuff. I mean,
Taught.
Yeah,
Taught? That's a funny term.
I think we taught some people some things. Carson, he comes in. He's a young mind. We probably molded him a little bit. And, I mean, we gave breaking stories.
Sure.
What, dude, where else did you hear? And I still think of, we should get a Pulitzer for really coming out and breaking over the internet the chess player that was cheating with vibrating anal beads.
Yeah, that was a big story for us.
Big story. I mean, look, we're still talking about it. We ain't talking
no one
about,
else is.
we're not talking about Hunter Biden or Trump or any of that. To me, the big cases, that's what I want to kind of delve into, if you will.
The big stories.
The big stories, the stories that matter,
Mm-hmm.
not politics. I mean, they all lie. So we're giving you, shit that you need to survive. Like, what if you were going to enter a chess contest and then, you watched a story and you were like, hey, I think we all need to be x-rayed, like going through the airport where it shows the bones and that way. There's no money in chess.
I hadn't thought about it.
No, there really isn't. I sat there and I looked at what the last chess champion, and like on those big ones like that, they'll win a little bit of money, but like the grand prize is like 100,000 or something like that. And then after that, what is there?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You don't see chess on TV and shit. But what kind of idiot's going to sit there and watch chess?
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, I'm not into spectator sports, and that would be bottom of the list to sit and watch chess. I mean, that's, it's up a little more than watching paint dry, but I mean.
Yeah, especially if you get like 3 or 4 dudes that are just sitting there and just, their hand on their chin, contemplating. Now, the speed chess, that might be kind of cool to watch. Mm-hmm. And I have watched a game or two of those. The Tate brothers. Andrew and what was the other one's name?
I don't know.
Their dad was a chess player.
My nephew was a little chess champion, like in junior high and high school and stuff like that. I mean, he was getting a bunch of first place, and I don't know that he still plays or whatever. I played him once, and the kid just smoked me, and I'm like, no more of this.
I tried to get into it because my brother played. He was like that in like grade school and junior high. He was real good, and he'd smoke adults.
Huh.
And
I I got a chess set when I was a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I just never could really get into it.
Yeah.
But
I got a chess set for like Christmas from my aunt when I was like in grade school, and it was like, oh, thanks. And I probably sat on it a year or so, and then I got out and I read the instructions and I read this little book and everything, and I'm like, okay, so I got my buddy Mike May, and I'm like, I taught him how to play, and then like we were good for a while, and then I think chess is really your nature, and like I watch MMA fighters, and I'm like, you watch the people are really offensive, and then the people are defensive, and if you're defensive, you're not going to win. And I'm more of a defensive person. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
So it just seemed like I'd always tried to. You have to challenge and go after it, not to, like, protect. And I don't know. It's the way I watch, like I said, fighters, and same story. But anyway, I don't know. I played soccer, for years, and I was always a fullback. I was a defensive. I was like, I'm going to protect the goal. It's it's your mindset.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have it for chess. I mean, I don't think that means somebody's super intelligent or not intelligent. I mean, obviously, fantastic chess players. They got some brains.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm with you. I don't know. To me, it wasn't a very exciting game for me. So,
I can understand.
but I played soccer too, man. I wasn't too good at soccer. I was good at basketball. But I was more of like a defensive. I could steal that ball.
No,
I wasn't too hot on the shooting, so I
yeah,
guess I wasn't. Uh,
I
oh,
was short and I just got dominated. But basketball, just I got slammed on, and I was like soccer. I was good because I was little and fast. When I was young.
right, right. I just never got on a good team. It seemed like, and we always lost. And I might have been part of the problem, but maybe if I would have won a game or something like that, or maybe got the winning goal, uh,
Yeah,
I
I know what you mean. I was always on a sucky team forever, and
yeah.
one year my mom coached our team,
Oh,
and we end up like kicking ass all the way to the very end. We had it won, and that Saturday we only had 10 players show up.
oh,
One of our like buddies went to stayed at a friend's house and never showed up or whatever, and we had to forfeit that win at the very end. And it's like we would have had it that year, but we just didn't have enough people show up at that very last day. And I was like, that's sad.
hey,
So,
our our buddy Brazilian Bud is up in the chat room. What's up, brother?
hey
Uh,
Pedro, long time.
yeah, a long time. He said soccer is awesome. Yeah, I know. You know, it, it's not real big in the U.S.
No, I loved it though. I lettered when I was a junior in high school, and then my senior year, the dude wouldn't play me worth shit. So finally, I folded up my uniform and everything, and I just walked up to him at the beginning of practice, handed him everything folded. I said, "Thank you, I'm done," and walked away. I'm like, "Fuck this."
Man,
It sucked.
talk about not getting on good teams. I swear, looking back at the first time I played Salvation Army youth basketball, the first year I did, I didn't have any experience or anything like that. They put me on a team, and it was all dudes except one girl. This chick was taller than hell. I don't know. I can't say she was 6 feet, but she was probably five something. But here I am like 4 foot something because we're fourth grade. And dude, it was like the bad news bears. Our coach quit calling Saturday practices because the game and we used to have to go in at 8 in the morning and practice for an hour, and then we got to rest for 45 minutes and then come and play the game. He
Hmm.
eventually was like, "We don't need to do the practice." we had games called, and that chick was the best player on our team.
Really?
Yes. But and like I said, I was more of a defensive player, so I was getting good rebounds. I was getting good steals, and I got quite a few assists. And I could shoot, and I can shoot. Usually, I got to be like in the paint though. I can't shoot from the outside. I get my shit blocked every time. Like kaboosh. He said, "Girls kick ass," and I've watched a couple of the women's soccer. They do a lot better than the men.
Some of those girls are pretty rough and tough.
Oh man, yeah. Oh shit, they beat you up. What's going
Kind of
on,
like some of the
Skeller?
MMA girls, you know.
Yeah, man, they keep putting up moonshine up next to the story. It's kind of making me want to try some of it.
Moonshine.
Yeah. Here's something that I don't think we've talked about. Greenland to stay in daylight saving time forever. It
They
says
talked about it here a couple years ago.
Copenhagen, Denmark, residents of Greenland have switched to daylight savings time and moved their clocks 1 hour forward this weekend for the very last time. I think we should do it.
I kind of like it.
Look, they did it for agriculture reasons, is why they really created daylight savings time and why they used it. But now it's just kind of worthless.
I'm still split on it because I like, sometimes you're having more daylight in the evening, but then in the winter you don't have that. And then you got kids going to school in the dark and everybody's going to school in the dark. So I kind of like that shift a little bit. It just sucks in the winter that if you don't get your ass home by 5 o'clock, you don't see daylight. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's what sucks. I hate that in the winter. Yeah, I'm really split on it. I keep thinking, I'm like, I understand some of the reasons, that we've done it, but it is a major inconvenience for people, and it really messes with people. I mean, like auto wrecks, chance of auto wreck go up like 30% that Monday morning, because people are they're off their schedule, they're tired, they're used to being, sleeping another hour or whatever, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
One little hour shift can mess with people. I mean,
it does.
I've worked night shift and things like that. That's like that doesn't even blip my radar when your body's all out of whack. But for a lot of people who are really like in a schedule, it really throws them off.
Yeah. And in the winter, it would kind of suck, especially if you work a job that you work 12 hours, like in a factory, and you go inside. It's dark. You come outside. It's as dark as it was when you went in.
Yep, I was there at Tate and Lyle, but the good thing was, I mean, we were from building to building, and so you were still outside.
Yeah.
It got some daylight because I couldn't handle being inside of a building for, not seeing daylight for 12 hours or going days without seeing daylight.
That's why I could never do like assembly line work or something like that. I got to be moving. I think, in fact, if I ever did anything wrong and broke the law, that would be like one of the worst punishments. Make me take on a job like that for like 6 months where I just can't even move like 3 foot. Oh,
something mind-numbing like that. Yeah, door panel goes by and you put 3 screws in it as it goes by in 45 seconds or whatever.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that'd drive you nuts.
Here's this lady, Evan. A woman stole $1,000 in raw beef at Texas grocery store Friday and is now being charged as a serial fajita meat thief.
Where did she smuggle it?
It does not say, but they got her on multiple grocery stores in the state, including one location, HEB store. I guess they must be kind of famous down in Texas. So
probably those robotic cameras going around that we were talking about last week. No.
The one she just got caught stealing from has totaled more than $833.30. And it looks like, all in all, here's 188. So that's over 1,000. And then the rest of the stores are looking over 1.2K. So almost $2,200 in fajita meat.
Dang. She run a restaurant?
I don't
Got a food truck?
Boy, that's a good question. That's a good question.
She's got to keep her taco or food truck going.
Man, and meat right now is expensive.
What isn't?
Man, I went to buy a steak and I said no. I mean, for a decent look, I mean, it wasn't even huge, you know. It wasn't like I was trying to eat like Robin Leach style shit. Man, that's a throwback right there. If you know Robin Leach, you're old too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't even like a tomahawk or something like that. Man, I grabbed that steak and it was $27.48
Damn, Sam.
for a T-bone.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm good, man. I better get me over the chicken and the pork. I'm gonna have to have me a big old pork chop and wish it was steak. Here's this story, Evan. Let me see where this is from first. I don't know. But here's the headline. Man charged with in-flight assault after attempted escape from gassy airline passenger.
That was you going out to Vegas.
Oh, was that the first trip I did that?
Yeah, we're on the plane together. Yeah, you fumigated the back end.
When we were getting off. I sure
did.
did.
We were in the safe zone.
Yeah. But yeah, luckily we were all the way at the back on that flight. So there wasn't a whole lot of people behind us. Because I think I let a few people go in front of me because I was like, hey, go ahead. The stomach is rumbling. I am running to the airport bathroom as soon as I get on that walkway.
I'm percolating.
I'm even telling TSA, hey, you follow me. You can search me there, but I got bubble guts. Crew. Yeah. So anyway, this dude like freaked out and he accidentally smacked a steward, or what do we call him now?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant. He smacked a flight attendant. Thank you, Evan. Thanks for saving me from getting canceled.
I'm with you.
But yeah, so that was my, wasn't that my first airplane flight?
I don't know, was it?
I think it was. It was the first one in a long, long time. Let's put it that way. Because I had been on an airplane when I was about 21. No, because I went to New Orleans too. So, yeah, I can't blame it on nerves. Well, I don't know. I still get a little nervous when them. I don't know. It's just weird to me being in a big soup can with a lot of fuel and them big ass engines, and I've seen diesel engines and shit explode.
It's the safest way to travel, though.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I guess, but over 100 venomous snakes, alligators, and a dead body found in Pennsylvania home. What do you think killed him, Evan?
What?
Alligator
and what in his home?
Over 100 venomous snakes, an alligator, and his dead body found in Pennsylvania home.
100 venomous snakes?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say it was one of the snakes. Did the alligator get him?
Police were called to the scene after receiving a report of an unconscious man. But upon arrival, they found the body of a 23-year-old man who was pronounced dead. Although the cause of death has not been disclosed, officials have revealed that the man had a snake bite mark. Stop. Stop keeping these dumb fucking animals. It's not cool. It's not. I know you're thinking you're exotic and everything like that. Man, them motherfuckers are venomous. Anything that can kill you, do not keep. And I know people say, well, a dog can kill you. Yeah, true. But how often does that happen?
There's no venomous dogs. That one
right.
little bite can take you down.
Right. I've been bit by dogs before. I'm still around. You know. And yeah, you don't need them snakes. You don't need those spiders. You don't need, and don't fuck with anything in nature like that.
I'm with you. Yeah, you don't need to have that as a pet. There's no reason for that.
See,
if that gets loose and...
Yeah. I lost a tarantula. Luckily, Sierra ate it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then I had to take her to the vet. And how I knew she ate it, because I heard her chomping on something. I turn around, she's got half this damn spider in her mouth that I've been looking for like 3 days. And I don't know how it moved the screen, but it was my fault because I usually keep the light on it. Well, I had gotten a new light, and I suspended it, and I didn't even think about because it had a wooden screen around the aquarium. Mm-hmm. And I did not think about that light being weight on that to hold it down. And when I got home from work one day, that it was moved to the side, just enough room for that spider to get out.
Wow.
So Sierra found it. And about a day and a half. Good girl. Probably saved my life. And that was the last time I ever decided to buy something stupid like that.
Nice. Good.
And I don't even know if a tarantula can kill you. Can they? Google that shit real quick, Evan.
I might have to. Can tarantula kill you? Good question.
And you say that we are a waste of time.
We get to the bottom of shit.
Yeah. I mean, you're thinking the same thing. Can a tarantula kill you? No. While some species of tarantulas have venom strong enough to make a bite extremely unpleasant, there have been no deaths reported. So there you go. I didn't even I was even smart enough when I was dumb.
Oh, that is, unless you are unlucky enough to get bitten and suffer an allergic reaction. You could have allergic reaction, but...
Oh, well, yeah.
Like anything. People have weird
it says
all kinds of shit.
I see where you're looking. It says, but you could get that from eating fish or coming into contact with...
Oh, absolutely. Fish could kill my dad or my sister.
Oh, man, I would hate that. See, that would be another thing you could punish me with.
Oh yeah, they take a bite and they know it. Their tongue swells, their mouth. It's like they know instantly.
Well, they probably got to watch like restaurants that cook seafood and shit like that too, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
yeah, with anything that's
scary.
cooked together like that. That's why we never did like a lot of like Red Lobster and shit like that growing up. I mean, occasionally my dad never had a problem, but yeah, you do have to be careful. But shrimp and stuff, they're fine.
Man, we got a few animal stories. We'll group these together real quick. So here's your animal news for this week of the last week of March. Next week, we will be doing the show in April. But another zebra. These zebras are going wild. We did a story last week about the dude that the zebra bit that dude's arm off.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. But
how'd you lose your arm? Shark attack, zebra attack.
This one was running loose in Seoul, Korea, knocking down pedestrians before being taken back to the zoo. So For a while, he walked and he was being, he was walking up to people. They were petting him and everything else. And then something spooked him and he took off. And I don't know if you've ever seen a zebra run.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they're quick. They are quick. I think they might be quicker than a horse. But yeah, when we get done, go watch zebras.
I'm gonna watch some zebra racing.
Yeah, there you go. Here's one close to home. Escape artist Missouri Bear. We did a story on this guy around January that he decided, no, it wasn't. It was Thanksgiving, because he had killed one of the turkeys. He had got out of his enclosement and he killed one of the turkeys and then got out of the zoo, and they found him like 5-6 miles away going through people's garbage and shit. But this one is he's heading down to Texas. A zoo with a moat. Do they know that fucking bears can swim? The St. Louis Zoo cited the specific and unique personality of Andine bear named Ben is moving to Texas for a better escape-proof home. Now I'm going to be rooting for Ben. And yeah. I hope he goes back to Missouri and climbs back in his old shit. Be like, fuck.
I'm back, bitches.
Yeah. I'm going to go where I want, when I want. Oh, God, I can't wait to get to that story. Deep sea worm named after Trinidad and Tobago scientists. This is in Puerto Rico. A new species of deep sea worm that is over 8.5 feet long and can live in all environments on the ocean floor that are either extremely hot or very cold, has been named after the scientists that found it.
An 8-foot worm.
8.5-foot worm.
Wow. That's interesting.
Man. The Netherlands. Badgers burrow under rail tracks, have halted trains in the northern and southern Netherlands, forcing lengthy cancellations on at least 2 of the lines.
Are they like deteriorating under the tracks or something?
Yes, they made a whole city. And now it's crumbling. Here's what it said. All trains were halted Tuesday afternoon on a busy line between the southern cities of Den Bosch and Boxtel after the animal dug into a dike carrying rails. I know that sounds like something dirty, but it's not.
It's not. Thank you.
And we'll finish our, I thought there was one more. Oh, missing porcupine in Berlin. Police say 2 porcupines that went missing from a zoo in central Germany over the weekend. One of them has somehow found his way back home. Now, Evan, they're called Pinky and Brain. Okay, the cartoon.
Not familiar.
Okay, it my kids watched it. So 20-something years ago. But here's how the headline reads. That just drove me. I was like, what the hell? Missing porcupine brain returns to zoo. Pinky still missing.
Nice. Yeah, great headline.
No, we're not done with it. I knew I had a few more animal stories. Mountain lion claws man in hot tub in Colorado.
I'll just relax in this hot tub. Hey.
Maybe he wanted, He wanted in. And finally, Supreme
Won a
Court.
cougar.
The Supreme Court chews on Jack Daniels dog toy dispute. A dispute between Jack Daniels and the makers of a squeaky dog toy that mimics the whiskey's signature bottle is hitting the Supreme Court on Wednesday. So it does. I mean, you can tell it's a Jack Daniels bottle.
A little copyright infringement.
Oh, a lot of copyright infringement here. We can throw a picture of this up real quick. Yeah, I mean there's not even no denying if you tried to say, "Oh, hey, we didn't mean for it to look like that." Oh, I lost my cursor. I hate when that happens. And display. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, you can't really. I mean, you got the label at the top.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
You weren't even trying to hide it.
I think Jack Daniels, which, I mean, they don't. You know what? What'll probably happen is they'll probably get, like, points on that. You know, for everyone that's been sold, they're going to get, like, a percentage. And then if they want to continue making them, then, you know, you're going to have to pay your loyalty or what did they call that? It's not like...
Yeah, royalties.
Yeah, royalties. So, yeah, you can't do that. I mean, shit, if we could, me and you would do shit like that. Use Joe Rogan.
Big seller.
Yeah, use Joe Rogan's name and all his shit and, you know... Hell, grow our audience a little bit. So yeah, you can't do that, man. Dumbass. I don't know why you think you would be able to. What would make you think?
I don't know.
But anyway, I tell you what. Let's talk Amazon for a minute, because this story just blew me away. Them Amazon drivers, they're on a mission. And, you know, you're GPS tracked. Mm-hmm. So if you're wasting a lot of time, you know, they're going to get on you eventually.
Well, they got cameras on you all the time, too.
Right. This guy wasn't having it. So this guy, Amazon driver, here, I'll read the headline for you. Amazon driver delivers package during police standoff, hands to SWAT member.
Make sure this gets in there.
Yeah, make sure he signs for this.
Let me take your picture.
That's what I was wondering because, you know, I've DoorDashed and you got to take a picture of the food. I wonder if hey, hold this. Click.
The cop in the middle of a shootout.
But one thing I saw earlier on the news were these Amazon workers are coming up and taking a picture of the package, hitting the send, and then grabbing the package and taking it.
Yeah.
Dumbasses. Man, almost everybody's got them damn Ring door cameras or some kind of camera. They're cheap. Yep. It doesn't cost anything to put. You can get a cheap security camera for $50-$60 now.
Yeah, my parents have one in their house, and we have one of those you can plug in anywhere to like an outside light and Bluetooth into it, and you can move it around and whatever.
Yeah.
I have it in the garage. You know, the garage is pretty dark. If anybody was going to come in, they can't see anything anyway. But yeah, I have one. They're cheap, $30-something.
Is that the one with like the infrared where it shows you can see it at night and shit?
I haven't played with it that much at night.
Oh, I bet you it is, dude.
I think they're like $35 on Amazon. Yeah.
Beethoven. It's been a minute since we talked about him.
He needs to be discussed more often.
Well, they took some of his hair and broke it down, did DNA analyst on, or did a lot of analyzing on it and everything like that. And I didn't know, but he died from like stomach issues and everything. Well, one thing they found out in his DNA, which I don't know, I'd love to know how they found this shit out. And I'd love to know all the ins and outs of DNA. But they're saying he was lactose intolerant, but ate cheese all the damn time. So, and back then, they didn't know what that was. He just thought he had a bad gut. Just think he could have lived a little longer.
Yeah, quit eating cheese and mess you up.
I'm the same way, though. Oh, man. This chick on TikTok, I have a 55-inch butt, and I smuggle booze into the bar.
55-inch butt?
This one is coming from the New York Post. I'm hoping there's a picture. Oh, there's a picture.
Hallelujah.
And, yeah, we got to show this. Why is it? Oh, it's not going to let me. Yeah, there we go. Well, she's not really showing it how she does it with her butt. Oh, okay. Yeah. And she said, I wish this was a joke. So here we go. And we really need a producer, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the bud, Evan, that she uses to smuggle the booze in.
Yeah, I ain't smuggle a lot in that.
And then go up and, yeah, so I guess she's putting it back there now. Yeah, we better watch what we show too much of.
She put a handle in her butt crack or what?
Yes. I mean, that's a cheap way to go to the bar.
Go to the Kentucky Derby. How'd you get a handle in here? You can't even get a little mini one of those airplane bottles in there.
And I think, what time is it? Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish up on news with our buddy, and I've been waiting to get to this since we started the show. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Anyway, there's these two dudes that escaped jail, Evan.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, because who really wants to be in jail?
Yeah.
Jail sucks. I mean, the kind of sex in there is painful.
I guess it depends if you're pitching or receiving.
Well, I don't know, but Bozo criminal for today comes from Virginia, Newport, Virginia, Evan, where two bozos made a daring escape from jail. According to the sheriff's department, they used a primitive tool fashioned from a toothbrush and a metal object to dig a hole through their cell. They were then able to scale multiple walls on their way to freedom. So what would your first stop be after escaping? If you think IHOP, Evan, you'd be correct. The very next morning, somebody noticed two guys matching the descriptions of our bozos chowing down on a Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity breakfast. Hope it was a good one. The cops arrived before they finished their meal, and they were escorted back to jail.
I don't blame them. I love breakfast stuff. I love either bacon or sausage, eggs, hash brown, toast. I love that shit. Every day I could eat it. Yeah. I would go, that's what I would do. Like, man, I am ready for breakfast after that escape.
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds like some Shawshanks. He dug through the wall. And...
Yeah, I mean, they had to be in prison. Where'd they get money? Were they going to rob the IHOP? I mean, that might have been a good thing somebody noticed them.
Yeah, I would be like, I'll worry about that later. I need my breakfast.
Yeah, I bet you they had some outside help.
and they probably know how to wash dishes. They've been in prisons.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's one more that our buddy Dave Moreland, bozo criminal of the day. This one is from it's from Florida, but Craig here is from Missouri. And he was taking a spring break trip to Florida when he decided to pay a visit to the Toasted Monkey restaurant. The wait was long and our bozo got frustrated. It was when that, for reasons only known to our bozo, he decided to take a butter knife and go do significant damage to vehicles in the parking lot.
No.
When confronted by the vehicle's owners, he reportedly laughed and ran down the street. There's a couple problems here, Evan. Number one, security cameras got a good picture of our bozo in action. And second, he had left his name and phone number on the restaurant's wait list.
And he was going to vandal some cars with a butter knife?
Yes, he was, Evan.
I'd kick his ass.
When confronted by the cops, he offered up this lame bozo excuse of the week. He told cops it was spring break. It was a spring break mistake. He has been charged with felony mischief. What a douche. On so many levels, you are a douche.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Oh, damn. Where'd this story come from? Oh, we might have to do this one real quick. Man could be sentenced to 5 years in prison after texting his ex-girlfriend 815 times in 2 days.
Wow. It's a lot of text.
Man. She must have that good coochie. Just saying. I ain't texting that. If I send you a text, I might follow up with, "Hey, did you get that?" And if I don't get nothing after that, I'm done texting you.
Yeah, you're dead.
I'm not. Yeah, you're dead to me. Vamos. But yeah, not 815. Whoo. His ex-girlfriend is alleged to have received 715 phone calls in 48 hours. This dude stayed on that phone for 2 days, bro.
That thing was connected to the charger the whole time. Had to be. And so he was on it.
He's sending a text and then hitting call. As soon as did you get my text, bitch?
Did you get my message?
Are you mad at me? He's alleged to have used social media posts to embarrass his ex-girlfriend and interfere with her livelihood. That ain't good. Yeah, this dude. Yeah, that's just stalking, man. Yeah, but if he's doing it and he's stalking her on social media and shit, yeah, there's something wrong with that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you got to come down hard on him. You know, because, listen, man, we already know what dudes that show that sort of behavior, we already know what they're capable of. So, I mean, if she's got that proof, you just, no, that dude, no, he don't. You don't need help. You need to go sit in jail for a while.
Yeah.
And when he gets out, if he does it again, then you give him the same sentence again. You don't, slap him on the wrist, give him probation. No. And it sounds like he's been warned about it several times. She's filed police reports, so no, you got to nip that before this girl ends up hurt.
Yeah, there's a problem
or
there,
worse.
and it'll get worse.
Yeah, it will. Cuz look, man, people that are that infatuated with somebody, that's scary. That is a scary thing. It's one thing to love somebody and want to be with somebody, but if that person doesn't show you the same, you also got to learn to, take that little bit of hurt and just walk away from that situation.
Yeah,
You know, shit. How do you
yeah.
think I felt when Janet Jackson got married?
Oh, you were
I
crushed, I know.
I was devastated. I was working out, but I don't text her 815 times a day, and if I had her number, maybe I would. Might be some dick pics in there.
Hey, Janet, just letting you know how I'm swinging.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You got me. Oh my God. It always goes there with us, Evan.
Oh well.
Uh, this really isn't a news story that I wanted to talk to during the news, but um, you know, LA's pretty wild right now
Hmm.
with the crime and everything.
The whole world is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But LA, man, they what do they call that? Well, they downgraded a lot of their crimes to where pretty much get a ticket.
Hmm.
So doing this, it's made the downtown pretty dangerous and the homeless people. So they're offering free shuttle service for the staff to get back and forth to the court.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That is crazy. But like you said, yeah, shit. Do you think it's on end times? Do you think we're heading towards the end of civilization as we know it? The end of the world, maybe?
No, no. But we've got a rising level of kind of anarchy, lawlessness, kind of just where that I don't know. It is. I feel like there's a whole lot of younger people, just a whole lot of disregard for society, and it's like and maybe I'm seeing that wrong. Man, that's a tough one.
Do you think? Because you got to think these kids a lot of these kids that are in the streets and everything, they're dealing with a little bit more than what we did because they grew up. I would call it the social media age.
Yeah.
They grew up with MySpace, and MySpace came out. We were what, in our 20s, 30s.
Never got into it.
Yeah, I didn't either. But then Facebook. I mean, so some of these kids have grown up on this. So now instead of having a beef with somebody maybe at school, it's online. It's 24 hours a day. So I mean,
There's a lot of that. I'm just in the Peoria area. The things I've seen in the last year or so. There was one of those big bounce room house things. Kids could go. There was a big fight. There's a new area, this like mall that was just built in the last couple years with a nice bowling alley. We went there. It was a nice area with video games and stuff. They just shut it down
yeah.
because they'd had fights there. They've had all kinds of problems, and I feel sorry that their young people don't have anything to do. But on the other hand, you're kind of tearing down what you have. I don't know.
But there's got to be something there that just puts in these kids' brains that I don't. Yeah, that dude's life isn't worth anything, and I don't know if we're just not showing the consequences of those kind of actions enough, or
I,
I don't know what you do.
we just get hardened on a daily basis. You got to think by the time you're 21, how many murders have you seen on TV?
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So I
Um,
mean, we're desensitized to, to
and video games, and then people get this whole, oh, this person disrespected me, I'll bust a cap in their ass. You did, no, walk away.
right.
There's things more important in life, and
Eh,
the stuff that people get fixated on, it's just like, this is sad. This is just, it's a decline, demoralization of society. If you want to watch something fascinating, go to YouTube. It's type in Yuri, Yuri, and it's his last name starts with a B, and he was a Russian spy that defected to the U.S. and he's on this talk show, and he fucking lays it out how you take over a society and the demoralization and bringing down a society. And he explains, and this is in the 80s, and you're like, oh, I've just witnessed this. This
yeah,
guy
yeah.
nailed it. And at the end, they're like, why'd you come here? Why are you even, you were a Russian spy. And he's like, this is the last country of freedom. And when we lose it here, it's gone.
Yeah. It
And
really is. And honestly, we lost it years ago.
right.
We say we are free. We are not.
No.
The U.S. is the. There are so many more places that have freedom, that their people are free.
Yeah. This
We,
is at the last,
yeah. I mean, to me that, and I really saw that. I hate to say it, but after 9/11, you really saw a lot of your freedoms, and there was some people that were out there yelling, "Hey, hey, hey!" You
oh
know,
yeah.
uh,
Well,
uh,
they had the Patriot Act. I mean, hot and ready right there.
right?
Once
Yeah,
9/11 happened, I won't go there. I mean, but they were, man. Here we are, and we haven't gotten anything back, and we've continued to lose,
oh, yeah.
and we will.
Uh, Look, man, when they're telling us what kind of vehicles we're going to be driving and shit like that, they've already won. We are not a free people. We haven't been for years.
No,
So,
I mean, no, and there's a plan for us, and like I said before, if you just tap in the World Economic Forum, the most powerful people and companies, and what they're deciding on your future, and they're laying it all out there. It's
yeah.
all out there. They're playing, and how are we going to fight that?
We
It,
well, me and you said that when they were having that meeting. We said pay attention to that because that's what's coming down
mhm.
and it did.
Yep.
Everything they said.
Going back, I looked up the Yuri is Bezmenov, Bezmenov. I think there's one. I think like a half-hour interview, but if you ever the KGB defector, it's from in 1985. It's really interesting to go back that far and hear, exactly what's been laid out and happened over the last so many years.
But
But you break it down from inside, and that's what they're doing. It's a war, and we've been broken down from the inside.
oh, for sure, for sure. And you you go back to something. Um, to me was about the video games, the violent video games.
I'm not making a call on that.
No, and I just want to say that's a parenting issue right there. Because
Sure.
I'm gonna tell you what I enjoy. I grew up with video games. Um, my mom always checked them out if they were gory, if there was a bunch of violence or anything like that. I couldn't play it. It was like Mario and shit like Donkey Kong and shit like that. So, and there is a problem with that because I mean, you get on PlayStation and play Modern Warfare. It's for 18 years and up, and there's a
Hmm.
bunch of fucking kids
And
playing
talking
on
shit.
this and talking shit, and it's like you can hear the mom in the background, and it's like yeah, come on. That I think it's a personal responsibility too. You can't sit there and blame all the problems on the world on the 1% or whatever. I know a lot of our financial issues, they keep getting richer and we just keep digging them out of shit. But as far as like the morality of,
It's the lack of respect to other
yeah,
people, And you know,
And I think a lot of that starts at home.
it does. Do you remember Hollywood Nights? That movie, not Hollywood Nights. Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
That scene at the dinner table where the kids are just absolutely disrespectful to the grandpa and the
Yeah.
parents are encouraging it. And watching that scene, I thought to myself, how many young families are going to watch it and these kids will see this scene and think this is acceptable behavior?
That's
And will
almost what's happened.
and will the parents correct that? No. And I watching that, I'm like, this is this breaking down this disrespect of people. Man, it's sorry.
No, no, man.
I don't want a soapbox. I don't want to bring anybody down.
Well, no, hell. They know we talk about everything on here.
Yeah, you get the good and bad here. That's for sure.
But yeah, I just think, I mean, but you can't fix that. Yeah, I mean, what do you do about that? How do you make somebody be a better person?
I don't know.
You can't. And if you're in the mindset that you want to be some fucking, low life motherfucker that just goes after and victimizes people, there's nothing that's, that somebody's going to say to you to change that. Them people like that need to be locked up and locked away for a long time.
Yeah, I talked to a guy at work that was a cop, and he was just like, an ex-cop. I couldn't believe this guy was a cop at one time, and he's like, these kids these days, they just have no remorse, nothing. They'll just gun somebody down for just little reason, and just that's horrible.
Yeah. All right, we're off that subject. We will talk.
What else is going on?
Outer space this week. In fact, tomorrow. If you look towards the horizon after sunset, find the moon. There should be 5 planets lined up with the moon.
All right.
So there you go. Check that out tomorrow.
Stargazing.
Hopefully it's not cloudy. Because the last big thing we had, it was raining. And I was pissed.
Remember the guy on the back, 80s, 90s, the guy who came out, keep looking up. He was the astrologer. Tell you everything that was going on, had the members only jacket.
Yep.
Remember him?
I love that dude.
He was great.
What was that dude's name? Does anybody in the chat remember that?
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
I just remember, didn't he say, keep looking up at the end?
Yeah, 5 planets will be visible in the sky this week like pearls on a necklace.
Cool.
It's going to be Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, and it's not Uranus, it's Uranus and Mars. Uranus is how you say it if you're immature like myself. It's Uranus. It's Uranus.
Yeah. You got it.
So, yeah, I can't wait, man. I dig the sky and the stars, and there's a few stargazer apps that you can get in either your Google Play Store or your iPhone store or whatever that are completely free. That when you point your phone up to the stars, it tells you the name of the stars and if it's a planet or, So it's pretty cool. It's a free app. I suggest you get one. I like it. I mess with mine quite a bit, especially getting out in the country.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, it drives that thing nuts trying to, it'll sit there and blink for a little bit trying to get all the names on the screen. And, yeah, it's cool. So check that out. We ought to get paid by Google and Apple for every damn Stargazer app they get downloaded.
Yeah.
Trying to get paid.
A Mark in the chat room nailed it. Jack Horkheimer was the guy, the astrologer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like that dude.
Yeah, he passed away some years ago. I remember that. 2010. Keep looking up.
Oh, I think I might have just Hold on. I got this. Evan, real quick. Would you like to do a small list? I can't
Of
believe
what?
the 10 worst muscle cars of the 70s.
Of the 70s?
Yeah.
Well, they
See.
were all bad in the 70s, but go ahead.
Okay. The 1972 Mercury Montego GT.
Oh, those were cool.
Number 9, 1973 Mercury Cougar XR7.
Yeah.
1974 AMC Javelin AMX.
Yeah, those front fenders were goofy. But I
19,
kind of like them, but they're goofy.
1974 Plymouth Barracuda.
That was like your last muscle car. Most muscle cars really died like in 72, but kind of Plymouth kind of rode it out for another 2 years.
The 1975 Chevy Camaro.
They were pretty weak by that time.
The 1976 Dodge Charger Daytona.
Yeah, that's unmemorable. I can't even think exactly what that looks like.
1977 Buick Skylark.
Yeah, that wasn't really a muscle car either.
Number 3, 1977 Pontiac Trans Am.
What year?
77.
They knocking a 77? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a big difference from 78 to 79, really. I mean, those were your Batmobile front ends, man. Why pick out that year? They all,
I don't know.
they were great cars. Those were 70s F bodies. I love them.
Number 2, the 1979 Chevy Nova.
Oh, those were turds by that time, yeah.
And the number 1, and I hated these fucking things, the 1976 Ford Mustang II.
Oh yeah, that was
horrible.
The forgotten Mustang year. There was a couple like Cobras that they did that were kind of snazzy.
Yeah,
but
you're right. The Cobras or the Cobra 2s that they put the ground effects and the spoiler on the back, those were badass.
Yeah, Chris, I'm trying to, a friend of mine on Facebook, Chris, he had one back in high school, a black one. It was pretty cool. Mustangs, I found that Mustangs, 5% of the Mustangs on the planet are cool, and 95% of them are pretty lame. You know what I mean? There's always the cream of the crop, the GTs, all your high end stuff, but they're fastbacks. But there was a lot of just really, really lame Mustangs.
Mark is saying the 77 Trans Am was a Bandit series.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, they had.
So I wonder
black
if
and
it's
gold special edition.
Yeah, I wonder if it was because it was mass produced, and the guy that did the list maybe has a hard on for mass produced cars.
Man, the 70s was tough. That was your gas crunch, and the automakers were doing everything they could for fuel efficiency. We didn't have overdrive transmissions, so those Trans Ams, they put a really tall highway gear on them, so they would loaf down the highway. But around town, those things were just slugs because they were just pulling that. It's like you ever ride your old 10-speed and you're cranking out in 10th gear and you pull up to a stop and then you go to take off again and you're still in 10th, and you're standing on the pedal trying to get to move. That's a 70s Trans Am, It's just they had the power. They just took the nuts out of them, and it's just what they had to do in the 70s to try to get fuel efficiency and everything else, and it was really sad.
Well, and let me read this to you because I don't know why this guy really put this on here. Because it says Pontiac manufactured instant classics like the Tempest, the GTO, and the Trans Am. With the Trans Am being the crown jewel of the brand, it's quite normal that Pontiac did everything possible to navigate the tricky environment of the 70s. Though nothing like the Trans Am of the beginning of the 70s, the 77 Trans Am still looks gorgeous. Under the hood sits a 400 cubic inch V8 that cranks out 200 HP at 4,000 RPMs and 325 pound-foot of torque at 2,400 RPMs. Though
Yeah.
it is not bad for an American-made car in 77, the Trans Am has a curb weight of 3,644 pounds. So, I mean, he really didn't dog it. Ah, shit. We lost Evan. See if he reconnects. Yeah, so I'm not, because the other ones, he kind of dogs, talking about the ugly features but I don't know. I think he put that on there. Evans froze. I don't know if he's coming back, y'all. Evan? Oh, Evan. Huh. Well, gang, I guess we're going to call this a night. There's Evan. Look, he ain't saying. Oh, is he back? Evan, Chili. No. Well, anyway, we gave you guys a good hour and 6 minute show. You're welcome. Chili, sit there and don't say a word if you think I'm a beautiful man. Thanks, buddy. Anyway, for Chili442, he says goodbye. And, I see him moving. We don't have any audio from you, Evan. No audio. Anyway, gang, we love you. Peace. Be good to one another. We will see you Wednesday, just, on Wednesday for the list. Peace.